Hey all, JTC here, and welcome to another user-submitted gameplay review. This gameplay is submitted by CRA55US, so thank you so much for the submission, dude. I appreciate it. We are playing on Legend, on Empire in Flames, as Witch Hunter Captain. Now, I can immediately see that we have Rapier, which is by far Witch Hunter Captain's best melee weapon, so we're already doing really good there. Looking at our team comp, we have a Mercenary, a Slayer, and a Sister of the Thorn. Sister of the Thorn, of course, is crazy good. And looking at these other two, this is a pretty good team comp, pretty solid team comp. Now, depending on what ranged weapons everyone is running, there is the possibility that you could struggle with specials with this team comp, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem, considering that, like, Brace of Pistols is usually what you run on Salt Spire or the crossbow, and that, Deepwood Staff, Javelins are both very, very good against specials, and then really the only bad special weapon on Kruber is the Blunderbuss. So yeah, did I just see crossbow? I think I just saw crossbow in that case. Yeah, crossbow. So yeah, we're good. This is going to be a pretty solid team comp. This is really good. She's running, Sister of the Thorn is running the Deepwood Staff. So yeah, this is a pretty good setup. So nothing really happens here. Nothing really too interesting is happening there, other than the two Chaos Warriors levitating. Always a good thing to check this side room right here. Things can spawn in there. It's not very common from what I've seen, but things can spawn in there, so it's always good to kind of go off the beaten path and look around. That is actually a good point to make. You always want to, especially at the start of the match, you always want to be kind of looking around to see what you can find. Usually spawns are going to be spawns of items are going to be kind of in the same static places, so if you memorize where exactly these spawns are, you can always check them at the beginning of runs or just anywhere in a run to see if you need anything. So that was very good that he checked there. There's nothing there that time, but if there was something there, that would have been a very good boon to have so early in the run. Nice Chaos Warrior, or Assassins down. Getting those good pokes in. Good shout. I don't know what he's running. He's running Fervency. Okay. So usually, Fervency is actually a very, very good. Oh, was that? I think that was a. Was that a YouTube thing, or was that a? That was a recording thing. Okay. So something that I'm noticing is that he has Fervency on, and let me talk about this while I actually put up my drawing tool, because I did completely forget to open that. So Fervency is a very, very good ult choice if you want to do a bunch of special DPS. Because Fervency is guaranteed crits on ult, and you can absolutely, especially if you drink like a concentration potion, you can drink it, you can ult, and you can just kind of aim up, especially with Rapier, and just chop off the heads of a bunch of Stormvermin and Maulers and Bestors. So it's really, really good for like immediate damage. But if you're looking for something for more like horde control or for more survival-based, you're going to want the Unending Hunt. So I don't know what kind of build he's going for right here, but definitely your best two options with Witch Hunter Captain is Fervency or Unending Hunt. Personally, I like the Unending Hunt better, but Fervency is definitely a solid option as well. We're rocking a Halberd, dual hammers, and I think I saw a glaive on the, what's-her-face, on the elf, which is an interesting choice. It's not bad. See, right there, it was kind of a risky move, just going for just a hip shot there. You definitely had the time right there to aim down sights and ensure, like right there. There he is. Yeah, right there. What is it fucking called? The Rattling Gunner. The Rattling Gunner did kind of like turn to look at you when it was about to fire at you, but you definitely had a little bit of time to kind of aim down sights, which would have slowed down your movement speed and allowed you to line up a shot. And assuming you're running I'll edit it in, whatever the name is, Conservative Shooter. I don't need to edit it in. Assuming you're running Conservative Shooter on your crossbow, that would have given you the time to, line up a headshot and then save the ammo if you're running Conservative Shooter on your crossbow. So yeah, you definitely could have gone wrong. If he aim punched you just a single time right here, your crossbow bolt would have gone flying, and you definitely wouldn't have gotten that hit. But if he did hit you and you were aiming down sights, there would have been a kind of a better chance for you to hit him. So usually with crossbow, unless they're directly in your face, you definitely want to go for aim shots. That's just kind of in general with most melee weapons. You definitely want to kind of aim down sights unless they're like directly in your face. Aha, picking up the important things I see. Now, he's running Swift Slang on the Rapier, which is very, very good. Because Witch Hunter Captain is a high crit class, you definitely want to be running Swift Slang on your weapon, which is going to be the quote-unquote meta choice in that situation. I hear an Assassin directly in front. Good reaction time. God, I love it when Saltspire like moves the Rapier in front of his face and then flicks it downwards. See, you're going for a lot of hip shots there when you definitely want to be aiming down the sights. And I believe when you aim down the sights with the crossbow, you gain an increased crit chance. I'll double check that before I upload this video. If I have, yeah, I'll double check that and I'll either like edit it in if I'm wrong or leave it in the comments if I'm wrong. But I'm fairly certain that if you aim down the sights with the crossbow, you do get an increased crit chance. So you definitely always want to be aiming down with the crossbow, both Barden's crossbow and Saltspire's crossbow as much as possible to gain that increased crit chance, that increased aim, and all that jazz. That is also another thing I actually just realized that I should talk about. Right here, you see him stab this Mauler through the wall, and it hits. Something that if you're not aware that you should know about Vermintide is that, yes, you can attack through walls. You can attack through floors. You can attack through, technically, ceilings. You can attack through walls. Any solid object you can attack through and hit enemies on the other side, which can be a huge boon. However, enemies can also, in turn, hit you through the wall. So it is a two-way street. So yes, it is good to know this because it is a boon and can help in a potential bad situation to kind of attack through a wall to get some free damage in. But on the other hand, you also have to keep in mind that enemies can indeed hit you through the wall, and you can absolutely eat an overhead through a wall, so you have to be mindful of that at all times as well. He gets a crit in his abdomen, takes that man's kidneys. That was kind of a good range to aim at hip fire. Anything farther, and you'd want to aim down sights. I like how you're flipping around and like making sure you're checking the rear, you're checking the front, you're checking the sides. You're always looking around to make sure that nothing's going wrong. That's always good. You always want situational awareness in a horde like this, especially when things are around you. Constantly, moving around you, constantly looking behind you, constantly checking your rear. When Witch Hunter Captain is on, I saw him tag, so I should bring up the point that when a Witch Hunter Captain is on the team, you always want to tag to be sure, but even if there isn't a Witch Hunter Captain on the team, tag enemies. It does nothing but help, and it makes them much more visible, especially if you're in the middle of a horde and you have, like a sneaky Mauler who's about to do a running sweep. It helps a lot to be able to see that through a tag. So you always want to be tagging as much as possible. Especially if you have a Witch Hunter Captain on your team, but even if you don't. And as you can see right here, he went out of his way, he checked the chest, and he found some things in it, which is going to help him. No one else did that. So always remember, always make sure to check off the beaten path, check chests, check things to look for. In here, he's checking. I like that, because there is the possibility for a healing potion, or just a potion in general, to spawn on that broken bench. Little sneaky assassins, kind of different ways. Ammo. Good, always want to tag the ammo. Aha, see exactly, he's checking around. Always good, always good. See, for what it looks like is his team is just kind of holding W. The team isn't really looking for much, because if we see here, he has all the stuff. Now, the Carillion does have, different things. The Barden has absolutely nothing, and the Kruber only has a bomb. So he definitely has been the team has found a couple of things, but I'm not sure where they found them, so they might just have found them in the middle of their path. But even if you're full, always check, because you might say, hey, I found some extra healing. The Kruber you can go ahead and top off. You might say, oh, hey, I found a fire bomb, and, even though we all have a bomb, I personally prefer to have a fire bomb, so I'm going to switch out my normal bomb for a fire bomb. You always kind of want to, have those options. Using the barrel to your advantage, always good. This is a good idea to kind of make them waterfall down. Good. If you noticed right there what happened, everyone Let me listen first. Yes, okay. So as you notice, at about this point, a little farther. At about that point, right here, you can see one, two people. The Barden and the Krillian are both fighting the Horde. This feather is from Kruber, so you also know Kruber is looking this way, and then Saltspire himself is looking this way. So that is all 4 teammates are currently looking at the drop down. And I did not hear a whooshing sound, so which means the Saltspire right here went, hey, all 4 of my teammates and myself are all currently looking at this direction, which means, oh crap, no one's looking at our back. So you see, he notices this and then immediately whips around and catches a Horde behind him. He catches people behind him. This dude, you totally just saved the ass of your team from eating a few hits. So that was definitely good. Always, always, always make sure that someone is covering the rear at all times. And in this moment, the Saltspire noticed that. Towards the end, right before he flicked around, he noticed, oh crap, no one's looking behind us. Our rear's open. So instead of, anything else, he immediately did it in the situation and saved his team from being in a sandwich. And as you can see, there are actually quite a few of them coming. So if he didn't catch this, I don't think anyone would have gone down here, but it definitely would have forced them to eat a couple of hits. That wasn't necessary in the moment. I mean, okay, so shooting... Actually, that's actually going to be good. Let me double check. Because he has 17 bolts right now. He has 17. Okay, so he does have Resourceful Sharpshooter. Something that you can do with Resourceful Sharpshooter is that every single time you hit an enemy's head, it refunds 1 bolt. And if you can cleave through multiple enemies' heads, it refunds 1 bolt for each head you hit. So as you can see right here, this Saltspire currently has... Keep an eye on his ammo counter. He currently has 17 bolts. He shoots. He now has 20. And I don't believe that's a crit. I'll keep an eye out. I do not believe that's a crit. So I'm very certain that he has Scrounger or Resourceful Sharpshooter. I love the little wiggle every time he misses. So yeah, you can actually... Actually, that's actually a perfect time. That was definitely not a crit. Let me double check. Yeah, okay, so he does have a Resourceful... Or... What is it called? Oh my god. I am literally blanking. I am... Where's Renald's gift? I literally am blanking so hard on it right now, even though I've said it 5 million times. I desperately need a reminder. Holy shit. Conservative Shooter. Conservative Shooter. Conservative Shooter. Don't forget Conservative Shooter. He definitely has Conservative Shooter. And yeah, you can cleave through the head of multiple enemies and get a refund for each headshot you hit. So if you are if you're running Conservative Shooter with like a crossbow and you can line up a couple of headshots and cleave through more than 1 enemy at a time, you can get a refund for each enemy you cleave through, which is how he actually refunded some of his crossbow bolts there. Good shout on that, Kruber. Beautiful stab to the head. Just a little toothpick to the face. I love calling Saltspire's Rapier a toothpick, because honestly, like compared to what all the other enemies have, it kind of does look like a toothpick. Just like this little tiny rapier that this man is flailing around. So it does look like they're doing a full book run. So right there wasn't really a reason to shoot into the Horde right there. I'm not really sure why you did that. Crossbow isn't a horde-killing weapon. Because right here, yeah, it doesn't... Even though you even got a crit, a crossbow is not a horde-killing weapon, so unless you're not trying to get a refund from a Conservative Shooter by, aiming for their heads and, like, trying to hit, like, multiple headshots in a row, or you're trying to, like, proc, I am blanking on every name right now. Oh my god. Listen, It's been a while. Scrounger. Scrounger. If you're not trying to proc Scrounger and you're not trying to proc Conservative Shooter to replenish your ammunition, then there's no point to shoot into a horde with a crossbow. That's just a waste of a crossbow bolt, frankly. So like shooting the elite would have been a good idea, but shooting into like a horde with no elites, no specials, no nothing, just a horde with trash, there's no reason to shoot with a crossbow. Personally, when storm vermin are so close to me, ooh, I didn't even hear that patrol. That was a good bomb though. See, this is something I always say, right here. So right here, if we can sit here and we can break down this bomb. Let's break down this bomb after the fact, and then let's talk about the bomb before the fact. After the fact, this bomb's not a good bomb. All the storm vermin are moving up, which means they're not going to be caught in the explosion radius. These storm vermin are moving up, which means the only bombs that are going to get caught, or the only storm vermin that are going to get caught in the bomb's blast radius, is basically right here and right here. If he's alive, it's a little grainy to tell. And how many kills does he get? Okay, so he does get 3 kills with the bomb, but that was, if we sit here and we analyze it from far away, or after the fact, that was not a good bomb. Now, let's analyze it as if we were the Salt Spire in-game. The Krillian right here, if I'm the Salt Spire, I say, okay, I've killed these 2 Storm Vermin. Uh-oh, the Krillian has just bombed something. I wonder what she's bombing. Why does she feel the need to bomb? Because personally, when I was listening, I didn't hear a patrol aggro, so I'm going to assume that he doesn't know it's a patrol right now. So okay, the Krillian's bombed. That's odd. Why did she bomb? There's a storm vermin right there that I can see. Oh, okay. Looks like Kruber's killing some storm vermin. It might be a patrol. And because I'm going to assume that he knew it was a patrol pulled, and let me back up. The point that I'm trying to make, I try to make a point that just completely fucking flopped. Oh my god. The point that I'm trying to make is if we analyze this bomb throw after the fact, it's not a good bomb throw, but in the heat of the moment, this is a amazing use of a bomb. The Salt Spire has decided that, okay, Krillian, they have aggroed a patrol, and Krillian has just eaten a hit. So which means that they could potentially be in trouble. Rather than risking it or waiting, I am just going to bomb this patrol and delete them, because the only one that has a bomb right now is the Krillian. So this is a very good use of a bomb in the moment. Remember, it's always like I said, you want to take a plan and stick with it. And right here, the Salt Spire said to himself, I'm going to bomb this patrol, and that's what he did, and that's very, very good. Now, it's just unfortunate that all of the storm vermin decided to climb up at that exact moment, and which caused the bomb to basically miss. That's just unfortunate timing. There's nothing really the Salt Spire could have done. Of course, he could have held the bomb a little bit more, but it's not that big of a deal, really. So very good bomb from Salt Spire there. And then the Sister of the Thorn bombed, which didn't need to happen, but it's also not a bad idea to bomb it, to decide to bomb it after the fact. I'm not sure if this team is a bunch of randoms or if this is actually a pre-made, but they are playing very efficiently. This team, blends very well together. Beautiful, just right in the cheek.
The damage is less severe. I wonder why.
So yeah, I'm not sure why you went for the crossbow bolt there. Against Chaos Warriors, you should, unless you're like memeing or unless you're incredibly confident in your shots, you should never go for a ranged weapon hit on a Chaos Warrior. Unless, you're playing with like javelins or throwing axes or something that can pierce that super armor, don't even bother. There's no point. It's just easier just to use your melee weapon, especially since you're playing rapier. Just aim for the head, and you're just going to delete them. Oh. He went flying. Yeah, you can walk on that ledge right there and kind of peek over. The ledge of the... Ooh. He just got slapped in the gut. The Salt Spire walked kind of on this ledge right here, which you can do and kind of peek over if your team needs help in the moment. So you can keep that in mind. You can also stand on there. If the horde's coming from down below, you can stand on that ledge and snipe specials if you need to. Or if you're playing Engineer, oops. If you're playing Engineer and like a horde's coming from this direction over here, you can stand on that ledge and like shoot them freely. So that you should definitely keep that in mind. I also definitely like the use of this team's barrels in general. Especially fire barrels. In my opinion, fire barrels are a lot more useful than explosive barrels are. Fire barrels can definitely tick away like an entire horde's health. It won't straight up kill a horde, but or on Legend it will. But like on Cataclysm and above, it will not. It'll do significant damage and kill the lowest trash, you know, the slave rats and the fanatics. The fanatics are those really thin guys, by the way. So the Chaos Horde, a lot of people don't know this. So okay, so I guess we'll just kind of describe right now. Fanatics are the lowest tier, which are these guys. Are the Chaos. They are basically known as the trash enemies. And then the one step up from them are Marauders, which are the beefier guys, the tankier guys. Which they're current. Oh, right. I clicked too fast and I missed it. So Fanatics are the super thin guys. They are the weakest out of the bunch. And then one step up from them are these guys right here. These guys. These are known as Marauders. They're the beefier guys. These guys are equivalent to slave rats, which are the rats in just loincloths and like really crappy weapons like the tiny flail, the torch, those kind of things. And then these guys are equivalent to a clan rats, which usually have shields. They actually have clothing on, and they're rocking usually a little better weaponry. And then beastmen-wise, these guys would be equivalent to the gores, which are the really thin guys with the spears. The archers are also technically gores. And then these guys, ungores, switch it. So these guys are ungores. These thin guys are equivalent to the ungores, and then these guys are equivalent to the gores, which are the beefy dudes. So actually, let's talk about that hook rat situation right there. So in that situation, there actually would have been a better situation. So right here, the Salt Spire, the Salt Spire is thinking to himself, okay, I'm going to pull out my crossbow, reload it, and shoot the hook rat to save this Barden. That's not a bad idea. However, consider this instead. Currently on Barden, there is this entire horde. This Marauder is eyeballing Barden with some lust in his eyes for the dwarf. These guys are all currently next to Barden and are very at a high risk of attacking him. This guy right here, and I think this guy behind him, is also currently attacking Barden. It would actually be more beneficial in this situation not to shoot the hook rat, but shoot the horde attacking Barden. Now you may ask why. Consider the fact that while Barden is disabled, he is going to eat hits from the horde around him. The hook rat damage over time effect is very, very tiny. I think it's something maybe like 1 health every 3 seconds you lose while being hooked. If even that, I'm not sure off the top of my head. 1 health, but let's just go with that for the sake of this argument. 1 health every 3 seconds is minute. It is basically nothing. Compared to getting hit once by this entire horde is going to cause Barden to go down near instantaneously, which he actually does. So the better situation, or the better idea in the situation would have been to get the horde off of Barden and save him from taking that damage in the first place. And then after, because there's no horde behind him, I would agree if there was, like a horde here, and a horde coming behind, and a horde over here, and elites behind you, and a special up here. Yeah, you definitely want to get rid of the hook rat as fast as possible. But in this situation, when the horde is dying down, there's not really much left. It's better to let him be hooked for a little bit longer and kill the trash that is actually at a risk of doing a lot more damage to him and potentially downing him and making him either die or drink a consumable that you could have used for later. So yeah, so like right here, he ends up eating a bunch of hits from those guys and going down, which could have been prevented if the Salt Spire and the rest of the team had attacked the horde instead of the disabler. Good headshot. Hopefully that made sense. I was kind of rambling there. Yeah, always make sure to ping items. Good. Usually for this event, On Legend, it's a little bit different, but for Cataclysm, you usually want 2 people up front, you know, in that little chokehold fighting, 1 person pushing the cart. If you're wanting to be, you know, really, really meta about it, you would want one person pushing the cart, one person getting barrels, and then 2 people fighting. But like that doesn't really matter that much. If you're playing, you know, like with against like borrowed time, you know, like with Twitch mode, excuse me, with Twitch mode, or with, you know, like deeds, and you really, really need to be as time efficient as possible, you definitely want to follow that. 2 people fighting up front, 1 person pushing the cart, 1 person getting barrels. Remember, against shielded guys, you can push them twice in a row to immediately open them up to attacks. So it would have been easier there to have pushed them twice and then attacked, rather than just kind of spamming left click. She threw it through that tiny window. An interesting thing that you can do is if you have 2 people, the stairway down... I guess we'll just kind of do it right here. The stairway down in this building, what you can do is you can have 1 person drop into the stairway and grab the barrel, and have like 1 person right here, and then another person... Actually, you know what, let's just... So imagine this is the stairway. I'm excited for you to show you guys my amazing drawing skills. There's 1 person down here, and then there's 1 person up here. So what you can do is you can have 1 person up here at the top of the stairs, and then 1 person down here at the bottom of the stairs, and the person up at the bottom of the stairs grabs the barrel and throws it up to the person who is spamming E, and then catches the barrel mid-air. And then this top person just takes it to the cart, while the bottom person just kind of, you know, has a little hold W spree as they just, you know, freely walk to the end. That is a way if you want to be more time efficient with it, but in this situation, they didn't need to be. Yeah, right there. He should have turned and pushed. Did he? Because this is a good way to move a barrel, by throwing it repeatedly. Yeah, definitely a good way to move the barrel, especially if you don't want to get hit in the butt, is to grab it and then just like throw it forward, and then move to where it is, and then grab it and throw it, then move to where it is, then grab it and throw it. But like right there, he definitely should have turned. Or like you also could have shouted right there to save yourself the hit. That also looks like she's having a little bit of trouble. So specifically when you're using Rapier, this is a good idea if you're going to use Fervency a lot, but just like in general with Rapier, when you are attacking a horde with Rapier, so right here you kind of have your crosshair kind of like centered on their chest. You kind of have your crosshair about like right here, maybe like, you know, up to their neck. When you're playing with Rapier, you definitely want to aim more above their head. It sounds weird, I know. But if you aim above their head as opposed to below them, you're going to get more headshots passively, just because of the way of Rapier's arc works. The higher you aim, the more headshots you're going to get. So you'll see a lot of Saltspire players, Saltspire players who know about this. If they ever want to get a bunch of headshots, they're going to start aiming more kind of above the enemy's heads. Not this far up, mind you. Maybe like a little bit lower, like probably like right here. But yeah, you definitely want to aim up to get those headshots. Enemies' hitboxes for headshots is really weird. It extends more above their head than it does below their head. So if you're trying to get headshots, it's always better to aim high than aim low. And Rapier in general is a headshot weapon, so you want to be going for headshots as much as possible. I'm not sure if he just straight up didn't see that Blightstormer, because right here there is a Blightstormer, right there, dude, right there, Blightstormer, danger, danger, danger. I don't know if he probably tunnel visioned and just straight up didn't see him. So yeah, even in these situations, always kind of be scanning your surroundings to make sure you see what you want to, or see any potential threats, because he just straight up missed that Blightstormer. Oh, I don't know. That was an interesting situation that I would like to discuss. So, because this kind of starts all the way back here. Escape from Musigan pops up, which means whenever this pops up, you know that there's going to be Storm Vermin and Skaven coming up this way to your location. Saltspire knows this, and it's at this point, yeah, he's looking behind him and he's looking forward. He's like, team, we're split up. Come on. And then, he does a single come here ping. Because 100%, these guys are completely split up to, these guys are by themselves in the corner, I think dealing with their own horde, and then the Slayer is currently behind him, going to meet the Skaven horde. Now, it's at this situation where the Saltspire has to say to himself, okay, what do I do? Do I fall backwards to my team, or do I push up forwards and stay with the Barden? And in this situation, I think he made the right decision. He stayed with the Barden because right now the Barden is completely by himself. He also does not have ranged to pick out any specials. So right now, the Saltspire is his ranged, is his special killer. And back behind him, the Kribber and the Elf are together, so that's already 2 people, and they both have ranged, so they can pretty much take out whatever they need to. So right here, I would have made the same decision. I would have gone with the Slayer as well. And sometimes these situations are just going to arise where your team is split up and no amount of come heres in chat is going to get them together, and you just have to in the moment make the decision, okay, who am I staying with? And unfortunately, it just seems like the Kribber wasn't able to handle it, or both of them wasn't able to handle it. Also, right there is what I was talking about this entire time. He goes to hit fire this guy, and it aim punches him, and it spreads out his aim this far, and as you can see, boom, he shoots and he misses. Now, if he was aiming down sights, the spread would have been more like this, I think. It still would have been decently big, but it would have been smaller. And there is a chance that the crosshairs, or the bolt still could have gone forward and hit him. So, like right there, yeah, exactly, and he aims down sights right there, and he gets him. Good teamwork right there. That Saltspire put a lot of trust in that dwarf, because rather than going to kill the rat behind him, he just immediately started healing, and that Barden immediately shot forward and stopped that Skaven slave from stabbing him in the butt. I honestly can't decide if this is a team of randoms or a pre-made team. Usually for these videos, I assume it's always going to be randoms. Yeah, the biggest thing, if I had to give, maybe I should give like one like biggest tip across all these videos for like everyone that I see. And for this, I would say for the Saltspire, aim down your sights more with you and using the crossbow. Especially at ranged. Like right there. That was unfortunate because the Stormvermin just so happened to turn his head at that exact moment, which isn't the Saltspire's fault. That's just unfortunate timing. But you definitely could have gotten a lot more hits just in general if you had been aiming down sights. Interesting path he took there. Saltspire is hurting right now. My E button. What about the E? Huh? My E button? Sorry. I have no idea what he's referring to. Usually, when you get a boss right here, unless you want the loot die, you can honestly just run. You can just run. There is plenty of room up ahead, and there's just plenty of room up ahead, especially right before the portal, to kind of kite a boss around. So if you don't want to fight the boss right here, you can absolutely just hold W and make a run for it. Usually you have to like kind of coordinate that with the group. So if you can't coordinate that with the group, then that's not going to happen. But it's an option to keep in mind. They're going to get the tome right here. Yep. I always thought that was an odd item spawn because it's literally at the very, very end. 99% of people aren't going to need the supplies there unless, you know, you're playing like Twitch mode or Death Wish Onslaught or something, you know, like extra difficult. Same thing with that medkit right there. That's a really weird medkit spawn. See, it's weird. The moment I say you should start aiming down sights more, dude, all of a sudden he starts aiming down sights. Can you hear me right now? Oh god. And yeah, that is a successful run. Yeah, biggest thing I would say is aim down sights more with your crossbow. There was a lot of hits that you could have gotten. If you would aim down with your crossbow. Or you also had the chance to proc a conservative shooter a lot more if you would aim down your sights and aim for the head. I don't know, you might not have been confident in your ability to aim for the head, but yeah. But yeah, thank you so much to the... I'm blanking on his name. I've just been so forgetful this recording, but it's fine. Thank you so much to you who submitted the recording. CRA55US. Thank you so much to you. And if you would like to have your gameplay reviewed here on the channel, make sure to leave or to join the Discord with the link down below and leave a link to your video, or read the rules first, obviously. And then, yeah, you can read the rules and follow the rules, and I will review your video here on the channel. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for watching, and see y'all next time.